Hi guys, and welcome to this train sim review and showcase. Today we're taking a look at the AP Class 68. 68s are some of the newest diesels in the UK. As you can see, this pack comes with lots of variations. We have Transpennine Express. We have DRS. This is actually a version you can get on Vulcan Productions with a retro rail towards headboard. It comes with every single nameplate. Forget about the Mark IIs, I'll explain in a minute. We get ScotRail livery, we get DRS second one, the famous DRS one, and then we get Chiltern Railway. So, they've all got their names, as I said. Some of them have no nameplate on purpose, so we're driving Daring today. So I just placed these Mark II down, just so that we'd have some ScotRail Mark IIs to go with the ScotRail 68, but they are not included. These are part of the AP Mark II coach pack. Mark II D2F. Right, so, first thing, the model, DTG's model, but the livery application by AP, just the Voslor 2014 Class 68 RA7, 100 mile an hour, ETH 96 index. RA7 is route availability 7. Which is quite low, so it means it's available on very few routes. Some of the lowest RA factor numbers are usually found on it's basically axle load. So if you've got a loco that's got very few wheels with a lot of weight, like is the case with this one, then it's not available on axle routes. If you've got a steam loco with, for example, with loads of wheels, then it will have a really low RA index because the axle load is really low, so the distribution of the weight that it exerts on the ground is even. So, enough science. Let's get in the cab. So it's a relatively nice cab. 68. It gives quite a nice. Just checking my PS, which is 90. It gives quite a nice, and even though we've got all these logos placed here, you can also have trailing variants, by the way, just like that you can have at the back of the engine, at the back of the consist. Right. So. It's a very pleasant cab to be in. That indicates, I think, if the engine started. You can't have opening doors because it's not included in the GSMR because it wasn't in the base one. So given it's an enhancement pack, we can't have that. Or at least we could when this came out. So we've got a relatively nice cab. This is a bit glitchy, but anyway. Right, my only thing with this panel over here, even though it's ultra cool, okay, we can press lamp test. It's probably because my key isn't in. Right, well, right, so the first thing we're going to do is, well, first, I'm just saying it's got NRN and GSMR radio. For those of you who don't know what it is, you know what it is. I'm going, I'm not going to explain that now because there's really no point. Right. So we've got train left bottom, we've got headlight intensity and patterns and things like that, and then we've got sanding. We've got lots of other things. So first thing you're going to get to here today is how a 68 starts up. So we're going to put in our key and do the cancel the AWS, and we get a fire alarm and DVD test as well. So let's put in our key, fire alarm, an AWS self test, and then we have to listen for the TPWS acknowledgement. I'll just do that again without having that thing through the middle. So what we have to do is we listen out for all the self-tests, including the fire and DVD. So the original one, it's beep, 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 that's DVD. Then we get beep, 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 that's fire alarm. And then we get the AWS, which we cancel using our button. And then we get the DPWS verbal acknowledgement. So let's go do that now.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Right, so we are clear to start. So let's get the show on the road. I'll shut up and let you enjoy the startup. Right, we have a problem with the startup, which is it's broken. Oh no. There goes the compressor. Right, so we started. That was a bit of a fail. See if I can. Sorry about the HUD. Yeah, it's a bit broken. Because it's a bit mad. It's actually, even though it sounds like it's spooling up. Okay, sorry guys, my fault. Sorry guys. What a disaster. Okay, I think that's going to do for us. Because if not, we're going to be here forever. Basically, you've heard the engine. Right, so instrument lights, of course we have. Let's turn them on. Let's apply the loco brake. It's not spring loaded or anything. We'll release our train brake. Right. Let that gain a bit of pressure. There we go. So now we can release the parking brake, which is just, there we go, as easy as that. Now we set up our headlights to second notch so that we get heads and tails. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, the engine spools up when you place it into either forwards or reverse, so let's keep ourselves in neutral. You can see all the important engine data here, by the way. And so we've got settings, main menu, ordered consumption, left totals they're called, and rail mode. So if I go to notch 1, we'll get no idle position, 1 to 8. We'll go above 5, we'll get 5 to 8, and if I go to forward dynamic, we'll get dyno brake. There we go. You can even hear the spring, which is awesome. So we've got everything here, so let's just go to the main menu. Right. So what happens when we place it into reverse is that we get a hiss of air clearing the radar speedo, and then the engine kind of revs up to, I think it's 950 RPM so we're currently at 600 standing low idle. So then when we place the reverse or the forward or reverse, we get 950 RPM. So let's go do it now. There goes the air hiss, and then the engine speeds up. And it should be, yeah, it's 975. Oh, and then it revs back down again. Yep, there we go, to 600. Right, so now we can release the loco brake. Turn off the DRA, driving reminder appliance. We can actually fiddle around with the headlight configuration, so we can either have it on like all these different settings, which I don't really know how to use them. Just keep it on that one usually. So now that we can move, we're just going to give it notch 1, and we just quickly go to the rail symbol. You're going to see all the things change. There we go. We're going to go back to main menu, so we're doing how many miles an hour? 1. Right. The traction motors are really peculiar in this loco. Right. Built by Vossloh. Oh. Unlike the coaches built by Brell. Let's just edge ourselves forward a bit. And stop. And reverse. You can also see what I'm telling the train to do. So if I tell it to release the brakes, basically if I'm standing, if I'm idle, then we've got traction going through. Right, so let's gently edge it. It's just such a powerful loco. I'm not sure one. It's quite hard to know actually. There we go. Yeah, it's really cool that you can use TMS. Right, we're buffered up with the Mark IIs, so let's just couple. There we go. So let's get into neutral, DI on. Let's just hold us with the loco brake, no need for the train brake. So now what we do is we turn on ETS, which is going to do a rise of, actually let's go back into just the front headlight. And now we're going to turn on ETS, which is going to give us a rise of engine RPM. And we'll get, so we've currently got traction cut out because of DRA, you can see that too. That should now turn on once ETS is active. There you go, ETS is active, so that's turned on there. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know you could do that. If I go to railhead, okay, that's cool. Right, so now you can see that the standing engine RPM on ETS is 1149 when we're in neutral. When we place it into forwards, RPM increases to further 1350. So now let's just move off. Let's get rid of the loco brake. Now get the loco brake off, we get back to our standard. It's not because of the loco brake, it's because of the same thing we did before. Get the standard RPM increase. So let's just head forwards, do the horn from inside. Give us a bit of power. It's a bit heavier now because we've got the coaches on. No DRA's on, of course. It says there traction cut out from the TMS. Should have paid attention. We can now move off. Gently. It's a lovely loco to drive the 68. Just cut at 5 miles an hour. So cool, and these Mark IIs are awesome, but we're not here to talk about those today. We're here to talk about the loco. So we'll thrash it once we're out of here. Let's just get us up to 10. This thing sounds... What the hell's going on with them? Everything was alright before. I've broken it. Probably because of the way I loaded in the scenario. Yeah, we're good. Right, and what are we on? Yeah, idle. We've also got dynamic brake, which is basically reversing the traction motors and slowing us down. Just tell you what that was in a minute. Well, I'll say it at the DVD, but... Right, so we've got dynamic brake, which right now isn't effective, so I'm just going to do full power. There's the radar hiss. This is the speedo for you. On the inside. It's really fast loco this. 100 mile an hour. Not as fast as an HST, but it's not bad. Well, we're doing 50, okay, that's enough. Are we on? Okay. So what the dynamic does is it turns on the fans first for the traction motor so they don't overheat, and then it turns the motor, that's the DVD, so they can hear it. So if I push the throttle forwards, you can hear the fans. And you can hear the traction motors turning back. And right now we're a bit faster, they're not having too much tractive effort, but soon you'll be able to really feel it. There you can hear the fans, even though you can see them spinning, you can hear them too. You can feel them pull back harder now. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop it now. So we're going to do about that pressure on the train brake. At this point, the dynamic brake is absolutely useless because it only works at speed. It can't stop you. Right, so we're going to see how fast we can pick up speed. 3, 0. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. As usual, this comes with dynamic clag and clag factor and motor factor. We're on forward on the button. Short brake. There we go. Picks up speed. This isn't like anything, really. Careful now. Let's just get a bit of dynamic in. Don't have 50, okay, 55. It's a really pleasant place to be, and then you've got the wipers, which can either operate fast or slow, or intermittent, or off. We'll have intermittent just once. There you go. And yeah, we've got a nice TMS, we've got train end button, which you know how it works, so just press it. Just basically, when the front tells you when the back of the train passes when you press it. So do you press it, and it's when the front goes to press it, it starts counting, and then it's and then the back of the train passes it, and then that's when you know that it sounds when the back of the train passes. There you go. So now we pass the front, and the back passes now. There you go. So we've got some spotlights which won't let me turn them on, which is really annoying because they're really cool and real. Oh yeah, we'll do the cab light. This spotlight here is actually really cool because you can turn on like one of, I don't know where it is, but it's like a light. Really nice. I think that's to do with ETS, that bulb there. Electrical train supply. Then we've got sand, which is advertised there. You hear it? It's like and it just comes up with TMS. To be honest, I'm not sure what I'm more of a fan of, digitalised logos, DVD again, or non-digitalised logos. I think more non, to be honest. Although it's always fun to have a computer on the logo. So then we've also got, so that's the sand. Yeah, basically AWS reset, on. Yeah, aircon controls, light controls. You know what that does. It's like blocking, I think that blocks wheel slip. Those are your headlight controls. Don't really do much, so this is all your, yeah. It's okay, so we're basically going to turn off now in the main one. So we're going to slow down with the dynamic brake. You can hear the motors turning back. Happens. Slow it down. Just checking. Get us down to 35. There we go. And then we'll stop just before the junction, or just at the junction rather. A bit of train brake going too. You can see that we're getting maximum. We're slowing down fully now. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of the view. There we go. Uncouple the coaches. There we go. Okay. Now we can stop ETS, which will give us the engine RPM drop, and we can release the train brake and apply the loco brake. Just release them all at this point actually, and get forwards, and give us a notch of power. There we go. And get onto the second headlight notch to the tail lights as well. There we go. And I'll give you some of the sounds I haven't played. And that's about it for now. There we go. So we'll just put in here, slow down a bit with the dynamic, which at this point is pretty much useless. Yeah, it stops having stops being effective at around 5 miles an hour. So we'll just give us about that much braking. Stop next to Centaur here. Just edge forward so you can see the nameplate better. And DRS. And edge forwards, there we go. Right, so we get back into neutral, DRA on, turn off the heads, turn on the parking brake, turn off the engine, which is going to be a challenge. Right, now I'll give you the emergency brake apply. There you go. The inside. Okay, our engine's stopped. We'll release the loco brake as per usual. Take the key out and instrument lights off. At this point you'd probably turn off the battery too. You can also do your hazards. Didn't show you that. I mean, just some of these sounds are really good. Yeah, so that's basically all your sounds. So sounds 9 out of 10, model 10 out of 10, functionality 7 out of 10. I think this rounds off in a nice 8 out of 10. Nice everything in general. So plenty of levers as you can see. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.